Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today we've got a match between Flash and Hero. Hero on Fighting Spirits. Top left-hand corner, it is the Teal Zerg player. It is Hero. And in the bottom left-hand corner, it is the Orange Terran player. His name is Flash. You may have heard of him before. Hold on, this is not Fighting Spirit. I read the Korean characters wrong in the loading screen. Let's see. I think I've cast a game on this map before, but I don't remember the name of it. So if you know what it is, let me know, and I will put it in the title. And I will be indebted to you forever and ever. Alright, so Slow Lord Scouting is Hero. Not SCV Scouting is Flash. I've had a lot of comments about my zooming in and out lately. But, I don't know. I'm just trying to catch the action. And I went back and watched a couple of my old Brood War casts, and it was like this the whole time. So I'm kind of self-conscious about that. Self-conscious about zooming in too much, which leads to me zooming out too far. At least according to the comments that I have read. Hold on a second. 182 APM. This is not Flash. There's no way this is Flash, right? This replay name lied to me. Boo. Who did that to me? Who did that? Look, Hero's APM at 500. That makes sense. What's funny is I can't find this under his Smurf name anywhere. The Smurf name list. Anyway, that was, it was like an 11 pool. 11 pool there from Hero. Flash is going for the regular old run 1 rack, so you're not really worried about walling it off at all for some reason. Do I call him Flash? Is it possible he's just in this game taking it easy? This is kind of a weird practice game that doesn't really matter in the long run, and he's not spamming his fingers in the first couple minutes of this match. Could that be possible? Anyway, if you're seeing this, let's see, the week of February the whatever. Yeah, like February the 20th and the 21st. Thank you for supporting me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin for as little as $1 a month. Appreciate the support there. Hope you enjoy this cast as it comes to you on patreon.com/FalconPaladin. Available to you early, a month before anyone else can see it. So the APM's going up here for Flash. Usually players start out and their APM goes down because they're just spamming early, but then as there's stuff to do, it actually comes harder to do that. And the APMs suffer. Not Flash's, though. He starts at 500, he sticks at 500. Which is nuts and insane and kind of the reason why he's so good. I mean, APM doesn't matter a whole lot for you and me, but at the highest levels, it really can make a difference between how many mistakes you make in a match versus how many successes you have. Right, as Artosis says, StarCraft is a game where the person who makes the fewest mistakes wins. And if you have a higher APM and you're using them correctly, like it's effective APM, right? We talk about that sometimes too. Effective APM is you're actually performing good actions with your actions per minute. And APM is just general whatever, where you spamming keys a whole bunch and half of those actions or half of those clicks you made or half of the keystrokes you made didn't really accomplish anything for you. That can lead to a high APM but a poor EAPM. RGB talks about that quite a bit. That's one of his favorite things to discuss in StarCraft. Anyway, 2 racks opening here into a command center. Probably going to see a ton of bio here. SCV scouting is very nice too. The Zerg player has a bunch of lings out. Eventually should be able to kill this SCV. It doesn't quite want to show his hand as to what he's doing, whether it's a lair, whether it's a Hydralisk den. Doesn't really want to show his hand until that SCV is dead. The jukes have been pretty good here. Again, I don't... Ooh, that was... I'm about to say how they're not quite Flash-esque, and that was great. That was a beautiful juke. This is incredible stuff. But he's not making it out of this corner, right? Okay, hang on. We're doing Snake here. That's... Oh, the juke back around... I mean, has 5 HP, so 1 more hit and he's toast. He's not healing up. There's no repair available. What? What was that? Okay, this might act... Oh my gosh. This might actually be Flash. That was nuts. I think he did catch a glimpse of that lair while he was over here too. Holy crap. I don't... Forget that. At this point, I'm putting Flash in the title. I know the APMs are bad, but so far, that was insanely good. We'll see. Hero on the 2 bases. He's got the macro hatch down here just for vision of drops, I'd assume. This is a huge main base. And if Terran drops in here and there's no vision available, that's a bad thing for the Zerg player. He needs to see if that's happening. Sending another SCV out. He really wants to get that secondary scout in to see if there are Sunkens coming up. If he can go for a big Marine medic push or not. Academy already done. Working on Stim. Working on a Comsat station here too. I don't see anything here that tells me it's not Flash. He does like to go for these bio openings. I don't know if I've seen a game of his where he just goes right into mech, and that's pretty rare for Terran in general, so I'm not saying that is a perfect sign that it's Flash. But yeah, he's got his Marines out, he's got his medics out, he's working on Stim. It's time to push. Now, there's not a third base here from Hero. By that I mean there's not a third base. Oh, hang on. Yeah, Spire coming up from him. He has the macro hatchery, but he hasn't taken a third, mostly because this is not accessible. Pretty sure when I looked at it, that was an island. Could maybe expand down here, but low ground, Terran coming in, setting up tanks on the high ground, that is rough to hold. So I think I agree. Oh, a Ling run by? Oh, this is not very Flash-esque for this to happen to him. I mean, does he handle it with Supreme Micro? Not really. There are 4 Lings free inside of his main. Hero is tossing up a couple Sunkens. Not quite the 3. Does he have to go back home? Yeah, I don't know who this is. I'm going to put Flash in the title. Is that going to be good? How should I handle this, patrons? I mean, if at the end of the game he has like 17 science vessels and none of them have died, then sure, maybe we can give this a Flash label. But I don't know that I've ever cast a ZVT where he just has Lings loose inside of his main base like this and he brings his whole army home. I mean, maybe it was a feint. Maybe he was just trying to make Hero throw up some Sunkens when Hero didn't want to. But Mutalisks are on the way. Engineering Bay is done. Turrets need to start now. Approximately. Now, more Lings are over here too. Hero! The harassment is serious business right now out of him. It is still 34 SCVs to 27 drones. The turrets are under construction now. The Mutalisks are popped. They're flying around. They're going to different rally locations. They're on their way in. There's one turret here. There's another turret there. There's a couple turrets coming in the natural base. This seems like ample turretage, especially if the Marines are going to stay home, and especially if they have Stim, and especially if they're working on a range upgrade and infantry weapons. So the Mutas are stacked, as they should be from Hero. That turret's going to die. The Lings are distracting over here while the Mutas are going to town on these turrets. All right, all right. This is looking okay. Out of Hero. I'm going to call him Flash because I don't know what else to call him unless it's Bi, which doesn't really roll off the tongue that well. So 2-base Muta attack has not really accomplished much, I don't think. One turret has died. The Ling harassment's actually accomplished more, which is something that usually never happens. But it's really keeping Bi Flash here inside his own base. Trying to see... Actually, can you... Oh, I see. I see. So this is here, so you can't just land a command center here because that'd be a huge advantage for Terran. You actually have to drop an SCV, mine this out, and then you can build a command center or land it there. So it slows it down a little bit. This Muta count is kind of insane. Like, really, really good. 12 Mutalisk. He doesn't even have an Overlord in the group, and he's stacking them like this. Although that Muta's kind of hanging out over here. A couple of them are. The wounded ones are hanging out over there. This Muta harass, though, is incredible out of Hero. 460 APM from him. Flash sitting at 270. I just think for the APM alone, I think we're closing the book on whether this is Flash or not. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. I hope you didn't click this thinking it was Flash, because it's definitely not Flash. I really don't think so. I mean, Hero's supply block because he just lost some Overlords, so that's a bit of a problem. But this Ling Muta army is pretty scary for this number of Marines. That said, +1 attack, plus range, plus Stim, plus medics. All this adds up to some pretty scary Marines here at the 8-minute mark of the match. Nice control. A Mutalisk for a handful of Marines. The trades are pretty good right now. They are not bad indeed, and still no third base from Hero. Where's he taking it? He has to take it here, doesn't he? Is there even gas there? Oh, there is gas there. Okay, so that's a good base. Kind of surprised he hasn't gone there yet. Strange. Strange indeed. Okay, so what's up otherwise? Lurker's already on the way from Hero. Trying to deal with his bio with just Ling Muta. It's good to a certain extent, but eventually you do need those Lurkers to deal with large numbers of Marines. Splash damage is the key here. Pretty good flank attack with those Marines. They don't accomplish as much as they wanted to. Muta count is actually down to 7, though, and a bunch of these guys are super injured, too. So I don't think they're going to be doing anything else for this Marine attack. Oh, there's a third base up here. Dang it, Falcon, pay attention. Watch that top right corner, man. There's a third base from here. It's the top right. Where else would it be? That is the traditional location for sure. Lurker's on this ramp. And yeah, that's a bit of a sloppy walk up the ramp there, Orange Terran player, whatever your name happens to be. But you went under by Flash, dude. Come on. You can't do that if you're not Flash level with your control and your decision making and your APM. Can you? I don't know. A lot of turrets in here. Mutalisks decide not to risk anything. Again, there's only a handful of them. And I don't think we're going to be making many more Mutalisks in this game. Maybe one to handle science vessels if they start popping out, and they should, as this is a TVZ. Queen's Nest on the way. Third base. Gas income and some mineral income here for the Zerg player. He can set up lurkers on this high ground, which is a good place for them. Or here's a good place for them, too. Got some mutas to spot. In here is not a bad place either. Where are the scans? No scan there, and no scan there. First science vessel of the game on the way for the Terran player. The Lurkers out. Lurkers ready to rock. It's 96 to 90 supply in favor of the Terran player, which is traditionally where it should be at this stage of the game. But a 3-basing Zerg soon should be able to have more supply than the Terran on 2 bases. We'll see if that happens here or not as the Muta's sharking around. The Lurker's sharking around. You can hear that Lurker burrow in, though. Is he go? No way. That is not. Nope. Hey, hold on. I don't feel great about. All right. Wow. I mean, that kind of worked out. What was that? 3 or 4 dead Lurkers for a handful of Marines? That's probably a good trade. Lurkers are gas expensive, dude. They are crazy expensive that way. Siege mode now being researched. Irradiate getting started at 11 minutes. APM has gone up to 330 or so. Dropped a little bit for Hero to 460. I wonder if he's going to go. Are these Overlords? Are they just. They're still Overlords, first of all. And they're moving out, I think, to set up areas of surveillance. But they. Turns out they don't have speed, nor is it being researched. So I don't know about this. The Mutas are here. There's a couple Scourge to deal with the science vessels as necessary. They don't have any upgrades either, which indicates I don't think Mutalisks are going to be part of the plan here for any length of time in this game, especially if those Mutas happen to die. Hive Tech is on the way. Hive Tech is already done, actually, almost. Here for Hero. 106 to 109 supply. Hero has pulled ahead in total supply, as I told you to expect that to happen. Tanks firing in. Six Marines at a time in production. Ton of medevacs here, ton of tanks. I mean, this looks fairly Flash-esque for the 12-minute mark of this match, but okay, well, this is happening. Muta's jumping in. Lurker's on top of everything. The tanks are trying to get focused down here by the Mutalisk. The Mutas, are alive. This Mutalisk has 3 kills and is alive. Those spines were massive. Okay, well, there goes the entire Terran army. That, again, looking pretty good here for Hero. He's up 93 to 88 total supply. He just wiped out largely all of the Marines from the Terran army. The tank count has been reset to 1. Did he take down the science vessel too? I imagine he... No, it's still here, actually. Didn't take any Scourge hits or Muta hits or anything, as it looks to be at full health. Adrenal Glands coming in now for the Zerglings, which will be part of the game for a while yet. They do have a +1 armor upgrade, which is shared by Hydralisks, Lurkers, and Zerglings and Ultras. Lurkers decide to get on out. Lurkers up here, take a tank fire. Ooh, nicely done. 1 kill there, 1 kill there. So they shared a couple kills. 4th base is already done for Hero, and whoever this imposter is has not managed to take a 3rd base yet at the 13-minute mark, which is not going to go well for him versus a 4-basing Zerg player. Economy is everything when it comes to StarCraft, whether it's StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2. So actually trapping these Lurkers in here with some tanks and a science vessel to spot for him, that's not bad. I'm going to argue this is not a bad place to be. Trying to flank up here. That group of Marines is completely dead, but the remainder of them should stay out of range of the Lurkers. Or, you know, just go for it, I guess. If there's not Dark Swarm out, you can do fairly well jumping on top of the Lurkers if you split your Marines well enough. Which is hard for you and I to do, but easier for somebody like Hero to pull off. Yeah, man, it's bio the whole way. We have seen Terran players win with straight bio the entire match. There's your Dark Swarm, though, and that is your cue to retreat. If there is no Dark Swarm, you can kind of handle the style of engagement, but if there is Dark Swarm, it's time to get out of there. Orange means run. Defiler gets irradiated. I'm pretty sure a Lurker in here got irradiated, too. No, they're all fine. They're all fine, Falcon. It's cool. Don't you worry your pretty little head about that even one tiny bit. Working on Plague as hero. Loving that upgrade when your opponent's going for a ton of bio. Plague is super, super good. Ultralisk Cavern coming in, additional Scourge being produced. I don't know what the Zergling Death was all about. But it looks like, there you go, constructing a third base now at 15 minutes. But Ling's going to make sure this is a hard place to set up. Yeah, no micro here on these Marines at all, which is not what you want to do when Lurkers come in and burrow in. Even, okay, there is detection. Defiler dies. I mean, that was a bit of a nice recovery, but this Lurker is still here on the ramp with 5 HP, but has 11 kills. And look, the army can't quite decide what to do. Nice Plague getting tossed down on 3 of these 4 science vessels. 3 of the 4 science vessels catching the red Plague there. Plague-oo indeed. And then the Scourge just... Okay, well... Yep, that is not how you win a ZVT. You don't just lose 4 science vessels for a handful of Scourge there. And a Plague. A Plague costs something, I guess. It does cost Defiler production, research time, the cost to research it, etc. This feels like a Plague Defiler to me. Yes, it is. God, that's brilliant. That's a humongous Plague here. That means these guys need to attack now. They're losing HP by the second. Actually, it's probably too late for them anyway. The Lings normally would not engage with this, and it didn't work for them that well either, but where... A lot of these guys are low on HP. Lings are much better. Quick attacks and small attacks are amazing against plagued units. It's one hit and done. You're actually doing overkill if these guys are fully experiencing the effects of Plague. He was not, though. He's not one of the unlucky ones who were plagued. Oh, walking right into a Lurker. I mean, this is just hero doing Zergy things. Really being everywhere, setting traps. The Zerglings are trying to jump in here on the Marines that are low on HP already, and wabam! Another Plague. A Defiler goes down. Heard that sound. Still trying to deny this third base, mostly with tanks and with a handful of Zerglings. Oh, the Scourge could have got one of those science vessels, but chose instead to kind of juke around, and instead bad things happened. So third base has technically landed for Orange Terran player. Orange Terran player also trying to set up a 4th CC over here. Does he really not see this? He sees the Zerglings and this drone coming in especially, and goodbye everything. So that's immediate cancel. The Lings decide to head elsewhere. It's 132 to 108 supply. This is what I'm talking about. This is what a Zerg player can do on 4 bases when the Terran player is barely on 3 bases now. He's actually working on a 5th, hero is, because why not at this stage? Yeah, that tank is done. This group of Marines largely done as well. It's just too many Zerglings. They have adrenal glands. The reinforcing Marines do come in and clear them out, which is very nice to do. And actually trying to throw up a 6th hatch down in the bottom right is hero. That's how ahead he feels that he is. So this Imposter Flash is really doing Flash fans a disservice everywhere. This is ridiculous. Hasn't been able to get a 3rd base up. Hasn't killed any Terran base or Zerg bases yet. Keeps losing science vessels. Keeps them getting plagued. Sure, he has enough science vessels to irradiate a lot of these ultras, and honestly, once they're irradiated, it's kind of just a you have to go sort of thing. Because they're going to be so wounded by the time the engagement happens if you wait for this irradiate to wear off. Plus, they're doing bonus damage versus Marines because irradiate is just an area of effect spell that affects anything around them, including enemies and friendly units. Well, I guess we're going to sit here and just let that wear off and bring us down to like 100 HP, which is what Irradiate does. It really makes Ultralisks less scary indeed. Ling's running into the 3rd base. There's absolutely no defense here at the 3rd base for Imposter Orange Terran player irradiating both Defilers. Is that what that is? Heck yeah. So one Dark Swarm comes up, but there are Fire Bats in the mix, so I think that's okay. Don't you be worrying about that, lads. So 3rd base technically lives, but I mean, it's 142 to 126 supply, these Ultras. Some of these are full health in general, right? Yeah, 5 armor on the Ultralisks, Lings marching on in. I don't think this is enough, actually, out of hero. I mean, it's okay. The attack into the 3rd base is more of a problem. Although this Ultra only really has 1 Marine trying to kill him. Get inside the bunkers. I guess you're worried about this, and that's your good game. Hero does win it in 19 minutes and 30 seconds. So, yeah, that was in no way, shape, or form Flash. whoever is the imposter really should just retire in shame at that performance. I mean, part of it kind of made sense, but we knew at the early tip with the APM that things were wrong, and it turned out they were. So Hero had a pretty good time of it, man. Never really dealt with a major attack on any of his bases at all. Like, these Sunkens took no hits. His third base never got even, like, blinked at by the Terran player. His fourth base, nobody came up here either. The fifth base was taken super easily. He was able to deny this third base pretty effectively. He won every engagement in the middle of the map, it felt like. And this orange Terran guy just never really got it going. And as a result, Hero overwhelmed him. Hero took the lead in the overall supply. He had Lings, he had Ultras. There were no tanks, really, to handle the Ultralisks. And just trying to go with sheer bio, if there are Ultras, is not actually the way to go. So, fantastic display there from Hero. It's a Zerg win against, I don't know, some unknown Terran, probably. But if you have any comments about who this could be, let me know in the comments. We will talk about it. End of the day, 123,000 points for the Zerg, 104,000 for the Terran. And yeah, if you're going to kill equal numbers of units to your Zerg opponent in a ZVT, you're not going to win. You're just not, especially if it is around 20 minutes time here. Resources, Hero obviously got mined more gas, mined more minerals, and spent a bunch more here too than the Terran opponent. And that is it. That is it for the shame of the Terran who wore orange today. Woo! All right. Well, that is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a Patreon edition. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.